Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Let's talk about compounding effect. I'm sure everybody know about compound interest. Compound interest differs with simple interest in a way that in compound interest you're making money off the interest which you have already made off the principal amount. So instead of your money growing linear, your money is growing exponentially in this case. But in this case, we are not talking about money here, we are talking about life. One of the things my father told me very early in my life and which has stayed consistent up until now is no knowledge ever goes to waste. I'll say it again. No knowledge ever goes to waste. Let me tell you a story and put everything in perspective. During my first year of college, I got a F and my GPA was down to 2.44. Here is the proof of that. I'm sure you might have heard this story during one of my meetups or one of my previous videos, but bear with me here, it's more interesting than you would think. Earlier during my first year, I was just one of other students who would wait until the last moment to finish up their coursework and then just take the exams. But I realized I'm not that kind of person and I should be changing the way how I do things. The way I started doing things kind of put me in that position where I got a F and I got a really bad GPA in subsequent first 2 semesters. Now, it works for some of the people, it doesn't for some, and I am definitely in the second boat here. After doing some soul searching, I wanted to figure out how I can be a better student, how I can perform better, how I can make my parents proud, how I can prove my teachers wrong. Prove my teachers wrong in a way because my advisor sent me an email that, hey, you're taking too many credits this semester. I don't think you should be doing that because your GPA if it is going to fall below 2.5, then you will be on probation. Now, when I'm talking about 2.5, it's out of 4. And that's what I did. I told the professor, I wish I had the copy of that email, but I don't have access to my email. I told my professor that, hey, I'm going to try my best and I'm going to get a better GPA. Trust me on that. Let me take these 20 credits. I'm sure I'm not going to be on probation. Now, during this time, I made a friend named Kenneth. Kenneth is a really good friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in a while, but we went to Sweden together and we were roommates at that time as well. If you would ever get a chance to meet Kenneth, Kenneth is a really good personality guy, even though he's a one batch junior of me. I really look up to him because the way he does things day to day, it's really organized. And, inspiration comes from all different areas, and that was my inspiration. Because what he used to do is he used to carry a sling bag around him and he used to carry his iPad mini and a notebook. And every time I would see him passing time, sitting in a coffee shop, drinking coffee, instead of being on his phone, he would be on his iPad mini revising some notes or reading a book or just watching a lecture. And I thought, dude, why is this first year student who's doing so many things, and every time I see him, either he's playing some sports or he is studying. And if you see him, you wouldn't feel like he's a very study focused guy because he's always happy going around and just managing his time well. There's a common human behavior called mirroring. Psychologists say if you like someone, if you found that person to be your mentor, you start mirroring some of the habits of them, like the way you speak, the way you do some things. And in a way, I kind of adapted a lot of habits of him. One of my teachers, really great teacher in my 7th grade, told me that, hey, it's not copying if you are adapting a way of a lifestyle from somebody else. And this is the mirroring which I'm talking about right here. Coming back to Kenneth, I started mirroring the way he used to study. What I would do is I had an Nexus 7 tablet at that time. I started carrying that in my backpack, and every time I would go to a coffee shop and I would start incentivizing myself to do better, to learn more things. And I realized that I'm not that smart of a guy who would sit at the last moment and study for an exam and then do really well. So I had to start early. So that's what I did. 3rd semester, I started focusing on my class. I changed this phone to this Nokia phone, a blue color, turquoise color phone. We still have it somewhere in our house. And I did that because I didn't want any distractions. I had the Nexus 7 tablet, but you need to have a Wi-Fi. And I would avoid connecting it with Wi-Fi so that I can study more things. And I started focusing upon more of my assignments early, rather than waiting on the last moment and matching the deadline. And I started focusing upon, hey, how do I prepare for my midterm 3 weeks ahead of time? Now, again, I'm telling you this because this thing worked for me. A lot of people will say that, oh, what a fucking nerd you are. I like to be a nerd. I like to study. I like to self-develop, and I like to tell those things to you. So if you are thinking, oh, what a nerd he is, I am proud to be a nerd. That nerdness has gotten me to the point I am in my life right now. So I started focusing on all of these things. I was a lot of times, like whole day, I would sit in the library prior to exams just focusing upon stuff. And my friends can attest to that. That whole year, I really kind of completely closed off all the distractions. I didn't hang out with my friends that much. I changed my phone. I was always studying one thing or the other, and I surrounded myself with people who were studying as well. Doesn't matter if that person is not even my friend. I would go up to them and ask them like, hey, were you able to figure this out, or were you able to figure this out? And that's how I jumped my GPA 1.03 to be exact. From 2.44, I jumped my GPA to 3.47, which brought my cumulative a little bit, I think 2.92 or something. But to see that really gave me a confidence boost, because here I was before this semester kind of getting on that probation period, and now I have a GPA of 3.47, and I was just proud of myself. Coming back to the compounding effect, what I mean to say here is that every small step I took, hanging out with that friend or hanging out with that study mate, revising something extra, realizing that, doesn't matter if I might not use it, just for my knowledge, I'll still read it. And that's what I was doing. I was paying more attention in the classes. I would sit in the front, have a good relationship with my professors as well. And that's how I jumped my GPA of 1.03. And now that habit has stuck to me until this point. This is what I've been doing day in and day out. Everything I see, everything I read, everything, I know that doesn't matter if I'm not using it right now. I know 5 years down the line, 7 years down the line, I don't know when I'm going to use it, but again, no knowledge ever goes to waste. When I started this YouTube channel, for example, I had a little bit of knowledge with camera and stuff, but my brother being a photographer and I helping him out kind of gave me a push. And when I really wanted to start this journey helping out students, it was so much more easier for me. And same with construction. A lot of people, what happens is, like, just to give you an example, since a lot of students watch my videos, a lot of international students watch my videos, what happens is when a bunch of companies come to your career fair and they tell that, oh, we are hosting this workshop or hosting this session, sometimes you just like, hey, this company doesn't even hire international students, why should I go? Or my friends are not going, why should I go, or why should I care? I'll tell you why you should care. Because each of that session, what you need to do is you need to pick up a tactic from that session. You need to pick up one string of information, write it down, and when you attend 15 of those sessions, you will be more confident while you're talking to the recruiter. What you need to do is you need to mirror. You need to create a compound effect when it comes to your career fairs, when it comes to recruitment as well. You need to go to those sessions, you need to attend those workshops, see how the American folks are interacting, what words they are using, because vocabulary is a little bit different. The corporate vocabulary is a little bit different as well. So you need to see how they interact. And every time you go to this session, your confidence will boost up a little by little. And this way, when you go to the career fair and you are in front of that recruiter, you will be much more confident than the other 95% of the population of your class who didn't attend those workshops. And that's where compounding effect comes in action. Remember, no knowledge ever goes to waste. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this one. I hope you guys found it useful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video and let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Alright, take care. Sayonara.